Congratulations on the series victory in Sri Lanka, Shane. Tell us how difficult it was for the teams to come to the subcontinent and adjust to the conditions there.
Yeah, it was very different to be able to come to Sri Lanka, to be able to adjust the conditions. It is very difficult compared to playing in Australia. The wickets do turn a lot more, especially the first test in Galle was something that I've never really experienced before, a wicket turning and bouncing that much, even more so than any wicket that I've played on in India. So to be able to come out of Sri Lanka with winning the one-day series and the test series was a pretty phenomenal effort with where we'd come from as a team. The last test series we played was against England during the Ashes, and we got pretty well beaten. So for us to be able to turn our fortunes around in the test match arena was very exciting. Now we move on to South Africa, which is going to be another big challenge.
Your bowling in the series was a revelation. What have you been doing that's different in that department?
With my bowling, I haven't really changed too much, to be honest. It just makes a difference when I'm able to continue to bowl a lot, which I have over the last couple of years. So the more I've been able to bowl, the more development I've been able to sort of have physically and mentally, and also working on swinging the ball as well. So it's just been I suppose a gradual progression over the last couple of years that meant that I was able to bowl as many overs as I did during the test series, which was something that I hadn't done for a long time, but also with the reversing ball, it sort of suits the way I bowl a little bit more as well. So it sort of worked out pretty well in the end.
There's been a fair bit of debate about where you should bat especially in the test matches, in order to manage your workload. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, during the test series in Sri Lanka, I did bowl a lot more than I have previously. Any time really that I have played for Australia. So it's really trying to balance that as well as we possibly can with my bowling workload and opening the batting. So it's a different challenge now that I've had over the last couple of years, and I'm going to continue to talk to the coaching staff and Michael Clark, the captain, about what's going to be the absolute best position for me to bat, whether it is continue to open and bowl the amount of overs. I'm sure I can do it, especially in climates that aren't as hot as Sri Lanka. Will probably be a little bit easier. But it really is just a work in progress to find what's going to be the best place for me to be able to bat and get the best out of myself for me personally, but also for the team.
People know that the first part of your career was marred by injury and you weren't able to get the best out of yourself, but how have you managed yourself in the recent times, and what would you share with Royals fans about that?
Yeah, I've been very lucky over the last couple of years to have some great people looking after me. Initially, I had Victor Popov, who's a physio in Brisbane in Australia, who was able to just give me some guidance into changing my training techniques, which have changed very significantly from when I first came into international cricket. I don't do anywhere near as many weights as what I did. Really very conscious about core strength, but also it's a general maintenance as well, to day-to-day sessions in between games. I've also been very lucky to have John Gloucester at the Rajasthan Royals as well, who's been brilliant looking after me so very well as well throughout the IPL, but throughout my tours to the Subcontinent as well. So I think the general maintenance has been a big part of keeping my body pretty much in alignment as well. So I'm going to games in a pretty similar place every time I go into play.
Over the last 4 years, you've been associated with the Royals. How's that experience been?
Yeah, the Rajasthan Royals has been one of the real bright spots in my career and in my life, to be honest. 2008 is a year that I will never forget. To be able to be involved with Rajasthan, with Warnie leading us so brilliantly well, and for us to win the inaugural IPL is something that I never thought I'd ever have an opportunity to play for an Indian team, but to be able to have the success that we did as a team and personally to come into the IPL after having a number of injuries over, I suppose, a 4 or 5 year period, to be able to get through that injury free and perform the way I did was really the reason why I'm at the place that I am now in my career. So I owe a hell of a lot to my development over the last couple of years to Rajasthan, and it is really is a big family. So I always love nothing more than about to play for Rajasthan, and hopefully we can have some more success over the next couple of years.
There's been a change in leadership at the Australian camp, and there's also going to be obviously a change of leadership this year or next year for the Royals. How do you view that?
Yeah, it is a changing time for the teams I've been in, that I'm in at the moment, with Michael Clarke taking over as captain of both one day and test match cricket for Australia, and he's been doing a brilliant job so far. He's definitely already put his his own stamp on his leadership skills, which is in the end quite, especially tactically, is quite similar to how Warnie approached things as well, because Warnie's been a big influence on Michael Clarke, and that's only a really good thing. So now with the Rajasthan Royals, with Warnie retiring from playing cricket, now presents another opportunity, and it's going to be interesting to see who's captain. I'm not sure if they've announced it yet with who's going to be captain, but we've got some great candidates. There's no doubt probably the main candidate for me is Rahul Dravid, who's one of them, if not the most impressive person that I've ever met in cricket. So he'll no doubt would do a brilliant job as captain. We've also got some other international captains as well, with Ross Taylor and Johan Botha as well. So we've got a good mix of senior guys around our group anyway. So I think we're only going to continue to get better over the next couple of years.
Finally, Shane, the Royals had a really good chance last year to make it through to the top four, but unfortunately that didn't happen right at the end. But what can the fans expect from RR this year?
I think we're only going to continue to improve. We've got some really good young guys who've been showing their class over the last year as well, and their development with Jinko Rahane and Ashok Manaria, who's obviously both been batting beautifully. So I've been able to see their development through last year's IPL, but also now over the last year with how they've been able to perform in domestic cricket, and with the Jinko for India as well. So I think we're only going to continue to get better as a team. I'm really excited about the prospects of what exactly we're going to be able to achieve next year, and I've got no doubt that we can, if we play as well as we know we can definitely make the semi-finals and give the IPL a real big chance at winning it this upcoming year. So I'm sure with the development over leading up to this next IPL, that it's going to be another very exciting year for the Rajasthan Royals.